We've been on the road in Canada for 3 days only, and we noticed one thing is that the Canadians are so nice. They're like curious and not shy, and they would just come to us and ask questions and have a chat, like if they're interested by the car or by the journey. We've been stopping all the time to chat with people, and we've got the best recommendations. So thank you, Canada.
Thank you, Canada. Thank you, Canadians.
Hey, this is Next Meridian. We are Nick and Mathilde, and we left everything behind to travel the world with our Land Rover Defender Albatross. 3 years, 7 continents, 88 countries, and just the road as home. Last week, we picked up our car at the port of Halifax. In this episode, we pack Albatross, and off we are on the road, starting our journey on the American continent, discovering the life on the road in Canada and the province of Nova Scotia. Spoiler, we saw whales! Let's go! Now that we got Albo back, the next step for us is really just to tidy all of the stuff we had in the car and the stuff we carried with us in the plane. And we also need to remove the chains and all the locks that were blocking our fridge and those 2 cupboards, because we also have equipment in there. So we had mold all over our cooking stuff, so we had to clean everything from scratch, one by one, and I'm not even sure it's going to be enough.
Really? It was that bad?
Yeah, it was really bad.
The front bag is back on. We are almost done with everything. Mathilde still has to put her clothes in. And slowly we are refilling everything in the car. Albo is getting a lot of attention. It's probably like the 7th or 8th person in the past 2 hours.
And after, I don't know, 3 hours, Albatross is completely packed, perfectly tidied, everything at its place, nothing is missing. Captain?
We are good.
We're good. And I think it took us 3 hours or 3 hours and a half, but in part because Albatross is attracting so much the attention that we had so many people saying hi and chit-chatting, so it was super interesting. We got tons of recommendations. Ready for some Canadian shopping? Yep. In the category we don't have are those giant pickles. Like, I've never seen pickles that big. We usually have pickles of what size? Ah, yeah, those ones. We have pickles of that size. Baby pickles. Giant pickles. Baby pickles. That's cool. I like pickles. In the category just like home is the Bahila section. All the pasta, all the type of pasta, and they have exactly the same. And they're about the same price, honestly. So I love it. In the category only in North America are those like instant mac and cheese that you see here. I hope they're better than the frozen one, because the frozen one we tried in Halifax were really not that good. But I love mac and cheese, so we might try this. I'm going to do a general fruit and vegetable category because generally it's just way too expensive. Like, way too expensive. The broccoli here is $5. In the category, where is it? Lemon juice. I cannot find lemon juice. I found lime juice in many different places, but I cannot find lemon juice. Do you have lemon juice, Canada? somewhere in your stores. I know I can buy lemons, but like I only need a little bit every day, so I like those little bottles. What's your problem with the cheese, Nick?
I don't know. I can't find like normal emmental cheese or just normal tranches. This looks like the type of thing you put in a burger. I don't have to test it out. I don't know, you know.
Pick one, pick one.
I'm gonna pick one.
Under pressure, pick one. Ah, you cannot pick one.
I can't pick one. So many choices too.
Swiss, take the Swiss.
Here.
Swiss.
This one?
No, that's mozza. Left.
Yeah, okay. Let's take this.
And now my favorite category. Why? In the category why, the winner is the butter. 2.8 pounds of butter. Can someone explain me what you do with 2.8 pounds of butter? It's better for an entire year. Bah oui, mais c'est bon, c'est des légumes.
Look at this car. His car and Albo. Look at Albo, it looks tiny. And that car in front of us is massive.
As an example, like we don't feel the entire spot. This guy does. No, not us.
Wow. Your head fits just at the level. Okay, now let's... $1.70 m. Look at that. Crazy. Look at those tires.
Here we're the same size.
You're the same size as the bonnet of the car. Let's go to our car now. Wow. Look at that. It's like a whole what? 40 centimeters lower?
We were at the supermarket just earlier, so we asked to a random person a few questions on driving practices in Canada and what we should be mindful about. First question was, do we need the lights on? And he said that most cars here automatically have the little lights on, so it's better if we have them, so we always drive with those on. Second question was, can we turn right at the red lights? We cannot do that back in France. So here, supposedly it's possible, except if there's a sign that says otherwise. So you should be able to turn right at red lights. What were some of our other questions?
The little diamond shape.
Yeah, diamond shape. So you'll see lanes, especially in cities, with a diamond shape. It could be like a normal lane or a smaller lane. So usually those are reserved lanes. Sometimes for a bus or like for a bicycle. So usually you would not be allowed to drive on it except if you belong to that one category. And I think that was about it.
Chattanooga, boy had $1 and a dime. Headed out from Nashville on the hard rock.
No wonders cars are so big around here. As we arrived, we did not quite have a sense of the scale of distances in Canada. In practice, driving through any single province of Canada is easily like crossing France from 1 to 7 times. Yes, I said 7 times. So I've asked Nick to illustrate a bit our scale issue in a little video.
We had no idea, but look how big Canada is. Of course you guys know how big Canada is, but we had no idea that if you, for example, zoom in here, Halifax is right here, and Cape Breton is up here. Now looking at this, especially when you come from Europe, you're like, oh, we could do a little loop driving up here and back to this town called Truro. And then it would take us probably a day or two to do all the whole loop. Then if we were to now do Cape Breton direction from Halifax, you then notice it's like 5 hours road, but we actually ended up going up here, so it's almost like 5 hours and a half road. Now let's keep the same height, same size, and I'm going to now slide towards Europe. And if you look at the same size, it's almost 3/4 of France. So it's actually really big. Already going from, let's see, Paris is up here, so it's as if you were driving to Paris all the way down to Avignon, or going to Paris to Zurich. It's really long. So it's funny how you can quickly get lost in distances with Canada, and this is what we did, and it felt like forever. Now look how big it's going to be. So this is going to be a tough one. We're going to have to get used to driving long distances and getting used to time management as well.
Very, very busy day, but we've done everything we're supposed to do. We got the car, it's in great condition, all the equipment was there. We packed all the equipment, reset everything where it belonged. So now the car is perfectly set up as when we were in Scandinavia. We did the groceries, we're full with fuel, full with water, and now we're on the way to our next stop, which is Capebreton, in the north of Nova Scotia. But we're completely dead, so we stopped at a random town on a random parking. But we have a little guest, a little deer, that is welcoming us. So that makes for a good end of day.
How'd you like driving on the Canadian roads?
It is good. It's very wide, so that's very nice for me because I'm always scared of the width of the car when there's people coming in front, especially here because they have cars that are so big. I'm happy that the street is that wide. We made it to Cabot Highlands National Park. Cape Breton, I don't know how they say it in English. So it's really the tip of Nova Scotia. So you can see the map here, and the entire part here is the national park. So we are literally driving around it, and we're going to do like a few hikes here and there. Tomorrow we will probably go see the whales in the Gulf du Saint Laurent, the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and we are looking for a campsite around here because apparently you can also see the whales from here. So that was a lot of road, but it's our first little journey in Canada, so we don't mind. Most amazing wild camping site for tonight. We have our 2 chairs, the sea. We found the most amazing camping spot on Cape Breton. Just make sure you are outside of the national park. At Pleasant Bay, we shared the spot with other travelers from Canada. They gave us another full list of recommendations for the next steps of our journey and taught us some words in Québécois. Thank you Audrey, Marielle and Yvon for the evening.
Qu'est-ce qu'il voit? Du coup, moi je regarde pas le drone, je regarde juste s'il n'y a pas d'arbre au-dessus. Ok, ouais. Tu vois là sur l'écran. Après je suis.
We finished the Skyline Trail, which is a very famous trail on the Cabot Trail National Park. And it was very short, it was really nice, but like paved, really for everyone to access. So like we even saw people like pushing babies in the trailer. So we heard about another trail. It's actually our neighbor of yesterday evening, Audrey, who told us about this other trail. Called Blueberry Mountain Trail. So we're going to have lunch up there. It's probably a bit wilder. I mean, you see the trail is very different, and yeah, the view is supposed to be also very great.
I like it that they give you this information. Do not touch. Dangerous plant. So that's what it looks like. It's almost like upside down Canadian leaf. And I think that's the plant in its hole. Let's see if we find them. Now I really want to find them, but I won't touch them.
Did you know that there are moose and bears in this forest?
Yeah.
What do you do if you see a bear?
You run. No.
No!
No. Did you hear me because I fell? Otherwise you wouldn't have known? Ah, nice.
Nice kitchen you have here. We do not regret we followed the recommendation of Audrey, our neighbor of yesterday at the campsite, because this trail is super pretty. There is just a few people, very nice, and the forest was beautiful and the view on top is beautiful, and yeah, satisfying. What is your average speed?
Right now, 35.
Yeah, 30.
40. No, 40.
After a little stop at the beach, We're now at the port of Camp, where we're going to take a little boat to go try to see whales. We hope we will see them. We indulge ourselves this kind of touristic treats because we really want to see whales. We'll try again in the Saint Laurent toward Tadoussac, but already if we can see them now, we would be super happy.
Right, which leads me to rule number 2: no standing while we're cruising. You're gonna find out right away that I'm not a very good driver. Right, Nathan?
Going to see whales, so we booked a boat. So that we can see it, and then when it dives, it creates this like massive clear puddle, and that means that the
There's one
dive.
here.
Oh, look, see that? We found one. Let's go find it. Let's go find it.
We had an amazing, how do you call that? Whale watching cruise. We saw humpback whales, we saw fin whales, we saw, and two other types, I can't remember the name, I'll look it up. And it was beautiful, we saw so many of them, there was like no time off. We thought yesterday's bivouac was amazing, and it was. Look at this one. This side, nothing. The nature and the sunset. And that's a wrap for this week. A great first few days on the road of Nova Scotia. And a great gift of seeing the whales from so close. Next week we move west to New Brunswick and Gaspésie in the south of Quebec. If you enjoy the trip, continue traveling with us by subscribing to our channel so you do not miss any video. See you next week!
About $2.50 for all of this. Is that what it is?
You're getting marketed!
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, sugar!
Should we get grape?
C'est quoi les autres goûts?
Yeah, let's get grape.
So Nick is about to try his Kool-Aid grape taste.
Kool-Aid Jammers Grape Raisin. it's like chemical water.